Small business advice, the 3 worst excuses I've ever heard. Guys, I'm actually really excited for this video. As soon as I saw the title, I was like, oh yeah, because I have coached thousands of people. I think we're coming up on near, I don't even remember what it is, 5 or 6,000 hours just coaching, not even doing, okay? We've coached a lot. I'm not here to bash, I'm not here to slam it all, but I do want to say that if you feel yourself with 3 of these excuses, or one of these 3, it's time to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Let's dive in. A number of years ago, we went and we took a whiteboard that held the top complaints and funny support tickets that we'd ever gotten. So I have my guys keep track of the most ludicrous support tickets. You can imagine, like, the crazy, it's the Hall of Fame. So we're like, it's not awesome to be on that list, but we keep track of the whiteboard. It's a whiteboard full of all these different most ludicrous support tickets, and which is interesting. But we also, because we've coached so many people, we also see these really strong patterns in the top things people struggle with every time they're starting online or trying to scale online, okay? So what I'm gonna share with you here now is 3 things. It was so fast for me to come up with them. I was like, oh, there it is, yep. These are not all of them, okay? And I'm not here to slam or bash or whatever, and I certainly have gone through these myself. But with that, let's dive into these 3. You probably could guess number 1, it is the one that everyone says about every purchase, not just something on the internet. Steve, how much money is this going to cost and how long will it take me? Right? It's the whole, I have no time, I have no money, which is usually garbage, right? There's a lady at one of my events, she stood up and she goes, how long is it going to take me to do all this? And I got to tell you, it just rubs me the wrong way every single time. It already shows that they're going to lose. It just does. If you are coming out of the gate and you're saying, all right, I believe you, Steven. Your eyeballs are gigantic, but, you know, I'll go after it. Like, whatever. You know, you're like, all right, like, I'll take you up on this whole thing you're talking about. But how long is it going to take me? What does that say? What does it say? What is the underlying belief if someone is already asking, how long is this going to take me? It means they're not in for the long haul, right? And to think that there's only going to be a few number of problems you have to solve in this game is insane. It's insane. There's new problems all the time. Right? There just is. New problem, new problem, new problem, new problem. So to come out and say from the get-go, how long will it take me to do this? Or I have no money. It immediately is telling me this person is not resourceful, which half of entrepreneurship is about, right? It also tells me that they are not there for the right reasons and they're probably not going to win, because there was a guy that told me once, he said, it's going to take longer than you think, but not as long as you fear. I love that line. That's such a good line. It'll take longer than you think, but not as long as you fear. So it's ambiguous. You don't really know. And if somebody is coming in and they're like, how long is it going to take? All right, Steve, I'll give you a couple months to figure this thing out. I'm like, dang it. It means that when I start hitting the end of that rope, they're just going to start blaming me and saying, well, you said. And I'm like, well, you don't want this, right? Yeah, it took me longer than I thought, but not nearly as long as I feared for my own self. Okay, so check yourself. If you start saying that, I have no money, I have no time. First of all, let me just tell you, you have time. In college, I was in the Army. Full-time school, getting almost straight A's is awesome. And then kids, right? And I still found 2 to 3 hours in the middle of the night every day to go build. And when I graduated college and I was working for somebody else, a 9 to 5, I still would start at 10 p.m. and work till midnight. And then I would get up at 5 a.m. and then work from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I was squeaking out another 4 to 6 hours every day on my own stuff while working full-time for somebody else. I've worked hard. All right? And so to say, like, I have no time, I'm gonna slap you. Do not tell me that, and do not buy from me, by the way. All right, second of all, if you're like, I have no money, I get it, I understand the fear. However, you can still bootstrap it. All right, Robert Kiyosaki says, rich people ask, how can I afford that? So when I couldn't get to Russell Brunson's Funnel Hacking Live event because I had no money, I was like, how can I afford that? How can I afford that? What if I get creative? What if I get entrepreneurial? And what I did is I started trading sales funnels for plane tickets to get to the event. I traded sales funnels for hotel nights at the event. I traded sales funnels for the event ticket itself. I bootstrapped my way there. I literally rented a bike in San Diego and put my luggage over my shoulder and rode a bike to the event. Okay? Like, after I landed there, like, bootstrap, all right? I ended up not having enough nights the last night in a hotel room, so I stayed up the whole night in the lobby, okay? I've worked really hard for this. Do not tell me you don't have enough money. There are resources just out of your eyeballs. And I got big eyeballs, okay? There's a lot of resources all over the place. You don't necessarily need money. You need value, and that does not mean money. Excuse number 2. This is one of my favorite ones. I was at an event. It's my event, and I remember there's a girl that was sitting to the right. I kind of remember her face. I remember where you guys sit a lot of times, especially if you engage with me on stage. And so there's a girl, she's sitting there, and she raised her hand right at the beginning of the event. And she goes, "Excuse me, Steve, my dad thinks you're wrong about all this and thinks you're full of crap." And I said, "Okay." And the audience kind of laughed. And I was like, don't get offended, but I don't care if you are. All right, I said, "Hey, no offense, but is your dad rich?" She goes, "What?" I said, "Is your dad rich?" She goes, "No." I said, "Why on earth are you listening to him about money advice then?" Excuse number 2 is permission. I'm waiting for permission from authority, boss, spouse, self. Okay, it's permission. It's, I can't move forward on this because I'm waiting for my boss to say yes. I'm waiting for someone to, I'm waiting because I need permission from someone or something that will suddenly say move. Now, man, it's hard to break this one. It's hard for me to break this one because you got to understand, when I was working for even just the epic Russell Brunson, man, I realized it's not like he was going to give me permission to leave his employment. You know what I mean? Eventually, I just had to say, this is what I want with my life, and start moving forward on it. And say, this is what I'm going to go after. Do not sacrifice your life just because someone else isn't willing to give you permission. Don't wait for permission, just do it. Just do it. Right? The whole adage that entrepreneurs ask for forgiveness versus permission is so true. And I have used that so many times in my life. And so if you're like, man, I gotta have some permission, I can't tell you how many people reach out to me and say, "Steve, I don't know what to do. How do I change my spouse's mind? How do I change my boyfriend, girlfriend's mind? How do I change family members' mind about me doing this?" And the reality is, you have to be unapologetically you. I have nothing for you. I don't know. But I do know that abandoning self for the sake of someone else's feel-good is the greatest trauma ever. All right? That's actually the definition of trauma, is to separate from self. So if self, you, is saying, "I have to go do this," and you keep sacrificing it, you're going to have regrets. You're going to have regrets. I love Dr. Monte. Dr. Monte says if you have a choice between guilt and regret or resent, always choose guilt, because resent is what kills relationships. So choose guilt. That's your choice right there. Choose guilt. And that's going to allow you to start moving forward with a huge amount of fervor. One of the reasons I built so fast so early is because I knew I only had a finite amount of time every day. So I was like, I need to get like 8 hours worth of stuff out in a 2-hour time every single day. I only have 2 or 3 hours a day. How can I do 8 hours worth of output in only 2 to 3 hours worth of input? And I got real effective real fast. So just because you don't have permission yet, first of all, that's no excuse to not move. Second of all, it actually can be a really awesome accelerant, because you'll skip all of the stuff that's distracting in a normal 8-hour day, and you get right to what's important. Before I share with you guys my favorite excuse ever, I actually want to know yours in the comments down below. And they don't have to be yours personally, but what is the craziest excuse you have heard? I'd love to know in the comments. Hey, I had a customer that told me this. I had a customer that told me that. I once had a customer tell me, actually, you know, I'm not going to repeat it. It was terrible. Okay, but down below, tell me what the biggest excuses you ever heard. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Please share this video. In fact, if you want me to do the heavy talking to a terrible client for you, just send him the link to this video. All right, guys. Next biggest excuse is lack of clarity. I had a client reach out once and said, "Steve, I don't know what to do next. What do I do on step like 92? I was like, "Can you even name step 1? And he couldn't. It was one of the most awkward phone calls because I would not release him. I said, "What is module 1 about? What is the first thing about?" He couldn't tell me. And because of that, I wouldn't take his excuses. And I said, stop worrying about step 92 until you've done 91. Okay, the mistake that I'm going to tell you this, if you're very analytical, a lot of analytical-minded people have a hard time with entrepreneurship because they're like, what's going to be on step 73? And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Entrepreneurship is a faith-based game. Okay, entrepreneurship is all faith-based. It is about you. Look, you see the next 3 steps in front of you, and that's it. All right, the way I do it is I know my peak, meaning I know the goal. That's the goal I'm going to go for. I'm going for that goal. Okay. And then I also know where I am, right? And you have to know where you are. Otherwise, it's like the Maps app on your phone not showing you where you are. Like you wouldn't use it for directions, right? You wouldn't use the GPS on your phone if it didn't show you the current spot. It has to show you the destination and where you are. Otherwise, it couldn't say, in 100 feet, turn left, right? So I'm like, hey, I know where I am. I know where I'm going. But I always need to be able to know what the next step is. And as soon as I take the next step, a new step 3 begins to appear out of the dark. That's just how entrepreneurship works. Okay, I have so many people with these memories coming back like, man, what's it gonna be like when I finally have all these steps figured out? And what's it gonna be? It's gonna be, oh, Steve, I launched my thing and I made all this money, but now I have these other problems. And I'm like, yeah, like welcome to the game. Like, what did you expect? There'd be no problems? The game's based on problems. But to think that you have to solve all of them before you move, that's what's dangerous. Okay, don't worry about solving step 92 until you've done 91. Right? Which means you don't have to worry about that for a while. And you have such different information by the time you get to 92 that you would make the decision differently anyway. So there's room. That's what I mean. There's room in this game for you to not know answers. And there's these quotes that say things like never let them see you sweat. You know, don't let the person know that you don't know all the answers. That's garbage, man. No one knows all the answers. And so when my team says, Steve, what are we doing here and there? I just tell them, I don't know yet. I haven't gotten there yet. I'll figure that out once I get there and I have more information. Don't think that you have to know everything front to back. But I will tell you that that is one of the biggest things that, and okay, just buckle up because here it comes. That stops more adults than kids. I got a lot of kids that follow me. I got a lot of teenagers that follow me. And funny enough, it's the teenagers that don't run into that one as much. For some reason, adults get conditioned into this thing where they're like, well, I have to know front to back. Tell me the entire blueprint. And I'm like, I can tell you at a 30,000 foot view, but you got to climb that peak. You're not going to know the map doesn't show every rock and boulder you're going to climb on the way to that peak. That's crazy. That's not how any of this game works. That's not how life works. And so what you need to create is a way to capture the problem you're working on next. That's it. That's the way around that one. Okay? I call it my single next step, my single next problem. Ask me at any time what I'm trying to solve in my business next, and I can tell you. It's how I drive my ship, right? That's how I drive the ship. That's how I steer everything. I know the next problem. I never know step 4. I don't need to. I'm not on step 3. Does that make sense? And that's how this whole game works. But don't let it stop you and keep you from moving forward. Hey, I got a cool free gift for you. Go to ofasignup.com. And what you're going to find out there, the link is in the description and in the comments. What you're going to find there is a whole bunch of ways around funnel problems and funnel excuses that I see most frequently. So it's a free thing. All you do is you put your email in and you're going to get a 5-day mini course that will teach you these little tiny skills that really help a new person not get stuck in the weeds. Because if you're like, man, I got so many problems I'm trying to deal with in this internet marketing space. I get it. Don't let it pull you down though. So go to ofasignup.com and it will teach you exactly how much of each problem you need to solve so you don't get distracted.